All right, Bobby. Let's get down to business. So, if you could, I would like you to begin by stating your entire name. Your first, last, and everything in between.
Okay. My full name is Bobby Tyler Levon Mosier.
Do you know why your parents chose those names?
Levon is a family name, I guess. My dad's middle name is Levon. His dad's middle name is also Levon. Bobby comes from my great-grandfather, who's named Bobby. I have no idea where the Tyler comes from.
How far back does Levon go, or do you only know your father and grandfather?
I don't know. That side of the family isn't well documented.
All right. Well, where were you born?
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
And, as I know, you still live there.
Yes.
Have you lived there your entire life?
I don't believe so. I think we moved out to Georgia for a little while, for a couple of months before coming back to Chattanooga. Other than that, yes.
That's all you can remember. What's the longest trip you've ever been on?
Longest trip is in farthest away from home or most time spent away from home?
How about both? So, what's the furthest you've been from home?
Farthest I've been from home is probably Washington, D.C. Longest was college. But if you don't want to include college, about a week.
Where'd you go?
Summer camp.
You go to summer camp a lot?
I go to summer camp every year.
Even this last summer?
If I can. I was unable to last summer because of work and priorities.
What do you do at this summer camp?
Well, it's a church summer camp, so there's that. Mostly it's a lot of Bible studies, hanging out with friends, praise and worship, and then the older kids, which I've been participating in this for about 6 years now, I think, 6 or 7. We get to do skits and sermons and stuff, and we take one night of the week to go to a church somewhere and do their service for them. So somebody will give a message and we'll lead the praise and worship, that kind of thing. And that was the big part of the camp for me, was being able to do that.
Is this hosted by your local church? Or is this a bunch of regional churches?
That's complicated. It used to be Awana camp, but it's now Dixieland Leadership Camp. But because they were briefly associated with Awana, we have kids from all over the country there, even going so far as from Colorado. So mostly it's just kids whose churches have some kind of connection to the camp through someone somewhere.
Your family would be one of those?
My church family would be, yeah. Anybody who knew anybody in my church would be connected to the camp. And so, even if they went to church on the other side of the country, they'd probably get an invite.
All right. Have you gone to the same church since you were young?
No.
What churches have you gone to, or have you just followed your family around?
Let's see. We first started going to church when I was about 5 or 6. We went to a place down in Alabama for a little while, for a couple of months, before going to a church closer to our home, with my aunt and uncle. And that became our home church for the most part. And we've been there for, 13 years at this point. But there were times during which we would leave for a few months to go to a different church before coming back. So, I guess we've been to 3 churches. I've been in 3 churches. I've been a member of 3 different churches.
Has it all been among the same denomination?
I'm fairly certain. I don't remember the ones when I was 5. So, yeah. They're all Baptist or loosely Baptist.
All right. Has your family been traditionally Baptist? With both your parents? Or
No, not at all.
What was church like? What is your family's religious?
My dad's side of the family is actually Catholic.
Oh, no.
My mom's side of the family, I'm not actually sure. But I guess my grandma and my papa are both religious. It's just, I guess they both come from Baptist kind of churches. But beyond my immediate grandparents, I have no idea.
So, you consider yourself a religious person, don't you? I understand you have a religion major.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure.
Did you get that from either of your parents or anyone in your family that had an impact on you religiously?
I mean, I grew up in the church, so yeah, I guess.
Is it something you don't spend much time with your family talking about?
Oh no, my dad and I definitely spend a lot of time talking about religious matters, but I think that's more for fun than anything else. Matter of intellect. So.
Sounds like you're still close with your family. Would you say that's true?
Fairly close, yes.
Would you be willing to talk about your relationship with your father?
Sure, why not?
All right. Do you guys do anything interesting together? Do you work together? Have a trade?
Do we do anything interesting together? Whatever comes up, I guess. Some days that means building a woodshed. Some days that means digging a ditch. Some days that means changing the brakes on a car.
Do you work a lot on cars or a lot on any of the projects you just listed? Is there something you enjoy doing with your father?
I enjoy working on cars with my father, but we don't have a long-term project. We just mostly fix things when things need fixing.
All right. What about your mother? Is there any special relationship with her, or is otherwise just a nice, happy son-mother situation?
Relationship with my mother?
Do anything special?
No, not really. I guess it's a normal
nothing yet.
Mother-son relationship.
Nothing interesting enough you want to talk about, I suppose.
No, I mean...
What about your extended family? Are there any
extended family?
More distant relations that you actually spend time with? Uncle, perhaps? Grandparents?
No, not really. We live fairly close to my mom's mom and her husband. So, I mean, we're really close to them because we're only a block down the street from them. And my dad's mom, we're pretty close to her because she lives only 5 minutes away. And we used to live with her, so we're pretty close with her too. But in terms of everyone else, aunts and uncles are spread out. Some of them live in Georgia, some of them live on the other side of the mountains. Still relatively close, but not enough so that we visit each other regularly.
So you keep it a smaller unit, you would say?
Sure.
Well, as for yourself then, what do you do for a living? What occupies you?
Do for a living?
Yeah. What do you have for an occupation?
I
pass your time.
Work as a teacher at a daycare. Well, yeah, I guess you could call it a daycare center, a child care center. How about that?
Is this related to your church?
No, not in any capacity.
How'd you get a job there, and what do you do?
My mother's been a teacher for years, and she got a job there a couple years ago. And then, while I was looking for a job one summer, she said they were hiring for summer staff. This was 2 summers ago. So I applied and got in. And they asked me to be a STEM teacher, so I would, once a week, or on every Tuesday, I would sit down and have an hour with each one of the age groups, and I would teach them about STEM topics, like science, technology, that kind of stuff. And then when I wasn't doing that, I was working in one of the other classrooms, just helping out wherever I was needed, I guess.
Would you say you enjoy it?
Yeah.
What do you like the most about it? Is it teaching people?
The relationships you build with kids. Yeah, the relationships.
Okay. Outside of working at that daycare or
Child care center.
Child care center, what else do you do to occupy yourself as far as financially or educationally?
I mean, I go to college, is what I'm here for right now.
And what are you here for?
I'm a religion physics double major.
It's pretty interesting. Why'd you choose that?
Heck if I know, man. I don't know, I guess I always felt called to do some kind of ministry, and I figured the first step to doing that would be deepen my own faith and explore that, make connections to do that, learn how to do that, and then physics is just for fun, I guess. I enjoy it.
Now, you say that you felt called.
Sure.
Does that imply that you have strong beliefs in these kind of matters? Would you say you have?
Yeah.
You seem active in your church.
Yeah, when I'm asked to be, yes. I'm not proactive by any means, just active.
Well, you're welcome to discuss your beliefs. Is there anything that you're particularly proud of in your denomination, or that you believe very strongly?
Well, I don't really have a denomination. Like, sure, I guess the churches I've always gone to are Baptist affiliated, but my home church is technically, it's a community church. It's non-denominational. The only reason it has any ties to a Baptist or the Baptist convention is simply because you have to have ties to somebody to be a church. So
you have an independent mindset for yourself.
I would like to think so, yes.
So why wouldn't you say that you're straight up Baptist?
Because I don't know what that means.
You think that the definition is just too vague to identify as it?
Definition's too vague, and I don't know enough. And I know that I certainly don't agree with everything that Baptists do agree. So I can't proclaim to be one.
I understand you. So we could say that you are interested and you have personal values in religion, but
sure.
What about in other spheres? Do you have strong beliefs politically or socially?
Nah, not really. I couldn't care less about politics.
I can respect that. All right. Well, in that case, since we've discussed what you do with your mind and what you do with your time, what do you do for fun?
For fun?
Yes, you talk about working physics,
Um,
working for children.
I guess whatever happens to pop up in front of me normally.
You have to take things as they are?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any set definition of fun, I guess, except being with other people normally.
Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, I guess a couple.
Tell me about them.
I like to play cards and stuff. Traditional playing cards, it's fun. Another, like, trading card games sometimes.
What kind of trading card games?
Well,
we both know what those are, Bobby, but I'm still going to grill you on them.
Magic the Gathering. I'm not ashamed of it, I swear. Yeah. I guess that's a hobby. Although, yeah.
So do you have to collect these as well as...
Yeah, but I don't do so much collecting these days. I tend to get interest in a thing, have a little bit of fun with it, and then leave it and go to the next thing. And I don't know. So Magic the Gathering is kind of a thing that I played in high school, and I'll still play it because it's still fun, but, like, I don't care enough to stay involved.
Can you think of any other hobbies you like to do? Are there any games you like to play? Any sports? Things you like to read, even?
No, not really.
So, are you implying that you only go to church and play Magic the Gathering?
No, I'm implying that those are the only things I do with any kind of consistency.
No, I'm not asking about consistency. Just right now, what would you do if you weren't here taking this interview?
Take a nap.
You like taking naps?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I like naps. I like sleeping.
I can appreciate that too. Okay, so we've discussed things that you like to do. Kind of. And we've discussed things that you do. And you seem like a busy guy. What is it that you want to do?
Heck if I know, man.
Well, you believe you were called for something.
Yeah, but being called for something isn't the same as what you want to do, I don't think.
Don't you want to do what you're called to do?
Yeah, and only the sense of being fulfilled, but that doesn't mean I want to do it.
I mean, we could have a philosophical sidetrack here if we wanted to.
I mean, sure, I feel called to do it, and I know that my life will be empty and meaningless unless I do it. So I feel pressured to do it. And that when I am doing those things, when I am obeying that calling, it's nice, it's fun, but at the same time, there are definitely other things that I would like to do. I'd like to be a mechanic.
Sounds like a goal.
Yeah, sure.
Does that come from you working with your father?
Probably.
Would you say you're good at working with cars?
Define good. I'm not going to break it anymore, but I might not be able to fix it.
From my experience, that is better than nothing.
Actually, that's not true. I did break my last car more, so scratch that.
What happened to your last car?
Not my current one, or the one before that, but I guess the one before that, my first car. The radiator went out, so I replaced the radiator, which was no big deal. But then it didn't stop a coolant leak, and we were pretty sure it was the water pump or a pipe that ran behind the engine. And when I got down there and took everything apart, I forgot how to put it back together. So we just had a bag of bolts and a bunch of parts that needed to be put back together, never got put back together.
Was that a sad loss?
Yeah, I cried a little bit that day. Actual tears.
What kind of car was it?
Mitsubishi Diamante.
Color?
Black.
Sexy.
4-door. It was an alright car, I guess. It was quick. I enjoyed that.
So you've had 3 cars. Does that mean you like to trick them out?
Yeah, a lot, actually.
Alright.
Well, I've owned 2 cars, I guess. What I'm driving now isn't mine, technically. Not yet, at least.
So your first Mitsubishi that you killed, that you murdered in cold blood. What did you do for that one to try to spice it up?
Well, we had a Fab Lab in my school, my high school, so we could print off stickers and stuff. So I went and printed off an Ace of Spades, and I stuck it on my gas door panel on the side of my car. It was a white Ace of Spades on a black car, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Did it have a name?
Yeah, Susie.
Was Susie beautiful?
Yeah, she was on an alright looking car, I guess.
Okay. What was the next vehicle you got after that?
After that, I got a Volvo. Sophie.
Sophie.
Yeah.
Now, is this the famous party Volvo?
Yes, this is the infamous party Volvo. It's not famous, it's infamous, because it's famous for all the wrong reasons.
What happened to the poor Volvo?
Which time?
Oh no. Now you're going to have to elaborate on that.
Well, it's broken down a couple of times, even left me stranded about an hour away from home once. Well, not stranded, but its most recent fiasco was that I did some not so legal things, may or may not have done some not so legal things in the car, which led to its transmission breaking. So I replaced parts within the transmission, and then I got it back on the road again, only for it to drop a gear out in the middle of the road. So yeah, it's currently sitting there with transmission issues, I guess.
She's still there?
She's still there. She's under her car cover and looking as beautiful as ever.
You think someday you might be able to save her?
Oh yeah, I plan on it this December.
Sounds like a goal to me.
I guess it's a goal.
Right. Well, if you're motivated enough to try to fix your Volvo, I think you're a very driven man, Mr. Bobby.
Yeah, I just don't know what I'm driven by yet.
And that's fair enough. Well, a good fitting topic for conversation. Back to the present.
Okay.
You say you've had 3 vehicles,
Yep.
at least nominally under your control.
Yep.
What is your current one?
Chevrolet Suburban.
Thing sounds manly.
Sure.
Well,
But that's how you define a man.
Suburban?
I mean, I guess it's manly if you see manly as big, loud, and aggravating.
Grunting and peeing on things?
I mean, it does have an oil leak and a coolant leak. And it does grunt a little bit when you drive it, so I guess so.
So
It's pretty manly.
does this one have a name yet?
Actually, yeah. Its name is Bertha, because while manly, it is still a female. And it is a very manly female, so Bertha.
Bertha's a good name for it then. What color is Bertha? And I mean this in a non-judgmental way, of course.
I guess it's green. Greenish, tannish color. I don't know, I'm not very good with colors.
So you haven't spent a lot of time tricking out Bertha yet.
Nah. Well, I spent a lot of time working on the inside of there, I guess. My dad and I hooked up a stereo system that took a couple of days to install. So.
You say you've worked a lot on the inside. What else have you done?
That one specifically?
Have you redone the upholstery? Have you added fuzzy ducks?
No. I was going to add, like, a grenade thing that hung from the window. It wasn't a real grenade. It was like a...
I would hope so.
It was like one of those... It was like an old air freshener, like the little trees, except it was a grenade, and I thought that was pretty dope. But I don't know what happened to the grenade.
Did it smell like a grenade?
I don't know. Never smelled a grenade.
Huh. So what did it smell like?
Well, it was old, so it didn't really smell like anything.
Alright, Bobby. Well, I think we've covered a nice little survey of your life right now. So what I'm going to do is pause the recording.
Okay.
And I'm just going to ask you to read off 2 word lists.
Okay.
Is that alright?
Sure.
Okay.
Word list 1. Fill, pin, oil, hollow, fish bait, wash, help, feel, potato, life, pin, thorough, feel, follow, get, red, old lace, fire, fail, home, hit, wire, feet, doing, okra, greasy, mining, tobacco, fell, lice. And then word list 2. Word list 2. Lot, fought, prize, boil, pour, pin, choice, toll, ball, pour, trap, dress, cub, thing, fought, test, hand, nothing, this, morning, often, trimmed, clasp, cost, risk, story, ask, toe, fault, grasp.
Alright. Thank you, Bobby, for your time. Shake, shake, shake.